Oh, hi. So, I'm in a record store of all places. I could perhaps be in the land of Kanada. Not my namesake, but I do claim you're at this country, because it's in my name. By the way, every Canadian citizen, you are now Kanada. You're welcome. Enjoy the miasma of stink that's going to rise up out of Toronto. Again, you're welcome. So, what am I talking about here in this used record store world? Because I couldn't find a brewery. I'm talking about a little weird gym, called Strange Brew, which was one of the first, not Saturday Night Live movies, but the equivalent of, because there was a Saturday Night Live show equivalent in Canada, whose name I do not remember, where several fairly well-known comedians spawned from and had their own bits. One of them was Rick Moranis. He of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Ghostbusters and various other things from your childhood or teenager years, depending how damn old you are. I'm old. I'm a skeleton. Him and his other guy, whose name I forget, they played the McKenzie brothers, who were a pair of drunk Canadians who said hoser a lot and got drunk as shit and talked about movies and TV and whatever. It was kind of a proto Beavis and Butthead, honestly, too, as well. That's another old thing for you children. But yeah. So they eventually rolled into a movie, Strange Brew, which is taking their characters and giving them more of a plot structure to play around in, where they wind up working at a brewery and there's a evil plot involving world domination via beer. Kind of a weird one. I mean, again, it's mostly just a vehicle for these two comedians to play off each other in the weird situations and do their thing. This is a formula that would later be adapted, taken by Saturday Night Live to make their various movie spin-offs like Coneheads, Night of the Roxbury, other massive failures like that. This one, pretty funny though. The characters by themselves have good energy, the two leads. They feel like actual friends and drunk buds. So, if you like that kind of humor, you're going to probably be pretty entertained by this. There's some good slapstick too here. Like, the dog in here is great. And their parents, who are, if I remember, they're never even seen. You can see the back of them. Good bit. Fun bit. Villains, weird, but entertaining. Like, very much on purpose. It feels like the villain was plucked out of a different movie and dropped in here. It works. This thing in general works. Pacing's a little weird. It has some slow parts. If you're not Canadian, or at least not familiar with the characters, the McKenzie brothers, you're probably not going to get a lot out of this. If you are, you'll get more, but I was not, but I still had a good time with this. Mostly I like Rick Moranis, and he's having a great time. I'm used to him only really playing the basic the nerdy kind of fatherly figures from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and the nerd guy from Ghostbusters. Like, I'm used to him in those kinds of roles, because that was basically his bread and butter for all the 90s until he retired. This, though, he's playing a different style of character. Kind of refreshing, honestly, for me there, and it shows that he has a little bit more range than I gave him credit for. He's playing a drunk, kind of a dick, but he's a dick with his friend, and it's very entertaining watching the two play off each other. I realize that the buddy comedy thing has... You don't see these very often anymore, just because they've kind of moved away. This kind of humor style has actually moved on to, like, YouTube. A lot of YouTuber things are built on this kind of drunk buddy comedy duos. Like, Game Grumps. That's basically the McKenzie brothers, but for video games. And I don't think they're drunk usually. I'd have to look. I haven't watched them in a long time. But you get that idea. That kind of the duo, the comedy duo. The comedy duo. They're doing that shtick. And yeah, Beavis and Butthead, same kind of deal. This is not a new territory, but this one has a nice Canadian flavor of maple and bacon and booze. does its thing. It's pretty entertaining. There's some good bits in it, so I do actually give this one a recommend. I don't know how easy it is to find at this point, because it's kind of an older, obscure movie. Now, the Kinsey brothers have been gone for a long time, and Rick Moranis retired years ago until he got punched a few last year, and who the hell punches Rick Moranis? You dick. Don't do that to poor Rick Moranis. Leave him alone. Asshole. I'm going to turn you into actual cat shit, and you're not going to like it, buddy, who punched Rick Moranis. I will make sure you don't like it. That is not a threat, that's a promise. From this magical cat man on the internet threatening a dude who punched an old comedian in the face in New York last year. That's how relevant my comedy is. I'm going to keep pointing at the camera like you're actually watching this dude who probably is 6 months in jail for punching the dude. I could look, but cat, effort, etc. Anywho, like and subscribe, yada yada yada. I think about 5 of you are going to watch this one, because I'm not talking about anything furry. I'm not talking about a cartoon. I'm talking about Strange Brew. I might as well be talking to myself in a mirror for this one. Well, I like to hear myself talk. That's my entire brand. Talking to myself. And making you into myself so I can talk to myself. There might be a symptom of something. Well, I'm a cat. I'm gonna go lay on someone's couch for 5 hours and ignore my owners. Bye! Oh yeah. Like and subscribe, etc., etc., etc. Thank you. Meow.